I told you how I'm gonna beat you. I'm physically gonna come there and take it off you. Do you know what that means?
You knock me out.
No, I'm not gonna knock you out.
You want the point decision?
I'm not gonna go points, but I'm gonna physically come and take it off you. From round 1 to round 12 or whatever, but you're going down on the 8th round anyway. You know that. You can see that in your eyes. You know that.
In the world of boxing, matchups that pit two fighters with contrasting styles against each other often result in memorable clashes. The hypothetical showdown between Derek Chisora and Wladimir Klitschko would undoubtedly be one of those moments. Chisora's aggressive brawling style against Klitschko's technical prowess and precision would create a fascinating dynamic in the ring. The aggressive brawler, Derek Warrior. Chisora, Derek Chisora, often referred to as the Warrior, is known for his relentless aggression and willingness to engage in toe-to-toe battles. His approach involves pressuring opponents with constant forward movement, effectively nullifying their space and time to strategize. Chisora's aggressive style is complemented by his powerful hooks and uppercuts, which have led to numerous highlight reel knockouts throughout his career. He thrives in close quarters, utilizing his strength and durability to wear down opponents over the course of a fight. The technical maestro, Wladimir Dr. Steelhammer. Klitschko. Wladimir Klitschko, on the other hand, represents the epitome of technical excellence in the heavyweight division. Throughout their more than 15 years of professional development, the Klitschko brothers saw a lot during their time in the ring. Caricatures of boxing from severed heads, David Haye's performance to obnoxious newcomers like Shannon Briggs, nonetheless, all of these daredevils succeeded, surpassed Derek Chisora, a boxer who the brothers were so irritated that the matter had gotten out of hand. Sports, and today we shall discuss this outrageous altercation. It all began in 2010. When the youngest of the brothers, Wladimir Klitschko, at that time, the champion of several major heavyweight titles, had to make a mandatory defense of these belts in a duel against the already infamous boxer Derek Chisora on the eve of the battle. The fighters said a lot to each other, especially the British, but boxers will not be able to answer for words, or somehow back them up with deeds. After all, this mega fight was not destined to happen a couple of days before the fight. Wladimir Klitschko was injured, and the fight was canceled. Chisora, of course, did not believe this, and began to accuse his younger brother of cowardice and avoiding the fight. However, the story of the clash between the Klitschko brothers and Derek Chisora did not end there at all. At the end of 2011, it was revealed that the eldest of the brothers, Vitaly Klitschko, would hold his next fight against the insulin from England, and here the most interesting begins.
You whoop your ass before you become the Ukraine president, because I know that's what you're trying to do right now, so I need to whoop your ass before you become the president, because when you become a president, or whatever, the prime minister, whatever, before you become that, I need to whoop your ass.
And it all ended with a daring slap in the face that Derek inflicted on his older brother at the official weigh-in procedure. This daring slap in the face deprived Vitaly of the right to be defeated, and this, of course, gave an additional reason for tension, and what was just another boxing match became almost a continuation of the eternal confrontation between good and evil. If you think that the rudeness of the impudent Briton has stopped on this, then you are deeply mistaken. Right on the evening of the fight, when there were only a few seconds left before the start of the fight, Derek saw Vitaly's younger brother Wladimir in the ring, and without thinking for a long time went up to him and spat in his face. With the cancellation of the duel, it appears that Chisora did not forget that case and was filled with hatred. Klitschko did not respond to this act of disrespect, seemingly trusting the opportunity to punish his opponent to his older brother, and here the fighters are facing each other. The battle of looks between them was so intense that it seemed a little more, and somewhere in the middle of rail spark would pass. The fight began, given everything that happened before the fight, quite calmly.
Fast combinations. After doing what he was doing yesterday, even two.
As expected, Chisora tried to act with explosive attacks. He wasn't very good at blowing up. He worked not in long series, but in single strikes, a right cross, and a long left hook on the jump.
someone like Vitaly Klitschko.
The voice you hear in the background, that's Prince Sudanek who's speaking.
Vitaly literally immediately felt for the opponent's weak points in the defense under the right cross and began to strike there over and over again.
Finding the target. Good enough just to discourage the Finns.
Hopefully let a few Chisora needs to get it.
When Vitaly Klitschko beat.
In general, it seemed that sooner or later he would score him against the ropes. But starting from the 5th round, the first alarm bell rang in the form of 2 side blows from Derek Chisora.
We can keep him at bay. Yep.
It's pretty stern, are you listening to me?
Yeah. It is going to help him, as being said as well, and the Klitschko's as well. They like doing these slap the gloves down first, then they let the shot go.
In the midst of the battle, Britain managed to patch up a weakness in the defensive beneath the right cross and began to operate more confidently in general.
Not for that round anyway for me.
During the conflict, Britain was able to patch up a defensive gap beneath the right cross and began to act more confidently in general. The 7th round, possibly the brightest in this battle,
That's better from Klitschko.
began with Chisora hitting with a right punch, and then a few more times with both hands, everyone surrounding stiffened up.
Klitschko took over for the last minute. But you're right, what you're saying, you've hit the nail on the head. Klitschko's shot.
But Vitaly smashes the right 4 times in a row, reclaiming everything with a vengeance.
Chisora, remember, predicted. Perhaps a little bit tongue-in-cheek.
There's not much in them at all. When he's coming forward and putting his
Like
weight
that.
in. Yeah. But he was
End of
coming.
the fight now. This has been a big effort in this crowd, a bit muted, but now the chance got. That's a good right to them. Klitschko's people are in the sort of dominant and authoritative. There's got to be.
There's not much body fat there.
Good work from the champion in the closing stages.
Both fighters were clearly exhausted in the 10th and 11th rounds, but Klitschko was generally dominating the fight and even managed to surprise Chisora once or twice.
Maybe quite has the punch power to do it, but those are the shots. Somebody I know, admired hugely. Going to be interesting to see what the reaction of the 2 men is. Will there be a respect?
In the 12th round, the Briton desperately rushed to the attack, but nothing came of it. Vitaly was still a little more accurate in the final round.
The multi-Chisora carrying the fight to the champion right to the last.
But this time, the brothers had nothing to do with it. While Derek was answering a question about his fiasco, the same David Haye appeared out of nowhere and began shouting at his compatriot that he was a loser. Chisora was offended and yelled back at Haye. Then he rushed across the hall, and what happened next, see for yourself. Vitaly Klitschko looked at all this chaos with surprise and then told the members of his team, "Let's get out of here. We are strangers at this celebration of life, nevertheless." When the passions calmed down a bit, Vitaly agreed that although the holiday after the victory had been stolen from him, the victory itself had not been stolen.